In 1972, President Ferdinand Marcos declared martial law in the Philippines.
The proclamation of martial law is not a military takeover.
What followed was more than a decade of fear, repression, and resistance.
I, as your duly elected president
One of the darkest chapters in our nation's history.
of the Republic, use this power
Through Proclamation Number 1081, signed on September 17th but dated September 23rd, Marcos justified martial law as a way to restore order against unrest and rebellion. In truth, it centralized power in his hands, dissolved Congress, and suspended the Constitution. Immediately after, opposition leaders were targeted. Senator Benigno Ninoy Aquino Jr., Senator Jose W. Diokno, and many others were arrested without trial. These arrests silenced critics and spread fear among the people. The suspension of the writ of habeas corpus allowed anyone to be detained without charges. Thousands of activists, journalists, and ordinary citizens were imprisoned. Fear replaced freedom. Marcos also shut down independent newspapers, television, and radio stations. Only government-controlled media was allowed to operate. Information was censored, and propaganda became the official voice of the nation. In January 1973, a new constitution was declared ratified through so-called citizen assemblies. Many questioned its legality, but it allowed Marcos to remain in power under a parliamentary-style government, extending his rule indefinitely. Behind the promise of a new society were countless human rights abuses. People were tortured through beatings, electrocution, and psychological abuse. Some were killed, others simply disappeared. Freedom of speech and assembly vanished, leaving Filipinos in silence and fear. In 1983, Ninoy Aquino returned from exile.
And there's this moment when the plane sits there and no one's quite sure.
3 armed men climb aboard. They surround Aquino.
Only to be assassinated at the Manila International Airport.
With the rear door closed and Aquino's entourage, Aquino was suddenly blasted from behind by a barrage of shots that struck him squarely in the back of the head.
Three years later, millions of Filipinos gathered at EDSA. Armed only with prayers, rosaries, and courage, they stood against tanks and soldiers. The People Power Revolution ended the Marcos regime and restored democracy.
Nagkaroon ng pag-aaklas. Sa loob ng 4 na araw, nangyari ang People Power Revolution. Sa unang araw, February 22, 1966, isang nagtutong ang mga tao sa EDSA sa labas ng Tower Grammar. Umiwalat sa Administrasyon ni Marcos, Jose Enrile na naging Defense Minister at Ramos na dating Vice Chief of Staff ng RT